Hi, welcome to my video on solve square root equations, and they're called radical equations, and this is part 3. What if a radical equation has two radicals in it? I find it easier if there's a radical on each side. Examples, let's solve for x. So we have the root of x minus 1, subtract the root of x equals negative 1. So let's put one radical on one side. So the subtract root x moves over to the right side to become positive. Now I'm going to square both sides. So the root of x minus 1 all squared is x minus 1. And we're going to square this, but the shortcut is root x times root x is x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is plus 1. Multiply these two, which is a negative root x, and double it. So it's a negative 2 root x. That's the same as if you expand these two out. Let's say that's the same as if you did root x minus 1 times root x minus 1 and did the FOIL. You'll come up with this. The x's cancel, and the 2 root x moves to the left to become positive. And we got a 1, that's a minus 1 becomes a plus 1. So 2 root x equals 2. Divide by 2, root x equals 1. Square each side. Root x squared is x equals 1. So 1 is a solution. So let's check, excuse me. Let's check x equals 1. X is 1. 1 minus 1 minus 1 equals negative 1. So that's the root of 0 minus 1 equals negative 1. The root of 0 is 0 minus 1. Negative 1 equals negative 1. True. So x equals 1 is the solution. B, we have the square root on the same side, so let's move it. Separate them and move them. So negative of x minus root of x minus 2 plus 5. Now we're going to square both sides. And square, square. So the root of x plus 3 squared is x plus 3. And without taking the shortcut here, I'm going to write this down twice so that you can see it. Because with the roots, some students get mixed up. So I'm going to do the FOIL on this. A negative times a negative is positive. Root of x minus 2 times the root of x minus 2 is x minus 2. 5 times 5 is 25. And the product of negative root x minus 2 times 5 is a negative 5. Root of x minus 2 doubled, so it's a negative 10 root x minus 2. And the x's cancel because they're on each side. So we can bring the negative 10 over to the left side, and plus 2, and that's an x, oh sure, I wrote down a 2 here, that should have been a 5. Oops, that should have been 5 times 5, it should have been a 25, sorry about that. Now we have a minus 2 plus 25 minus 3. And that gives me a 20. Divide both sides by 10, so the root of x minus 2 equals 2. Now we square both sides. And the square root of x minus 2 all squared is x minus 2. 2 squared is 4. So 4 plus 2 equals 6. And we have to check to see if 6 is okay. So the root, we're putting 6 in the place of x. We're putting 6 in the place of x. Let's see if it works. That gives me the square root of 9. Square root of 4 equals 5. Root of 9 is 3. The root of 4 is 2. 5 equals 5. That's true. So x equals 6 is the solution to this equation. And again, when I multiply 5 by 5, why I put not 25 there. Again, that's my brain not working correctly at certain times. And we have some practice to do. So what you can do is pause your video and work these out. So again, we got a root on, two roots on the same side, so let's separate them, put one on each side. So when I bring this root over, it becomes a minus. Now I'm going to square both sides. And square root of 2x plus 1 all squared is 2x plus 1. Negative squared, negative times negative is positive, and the root of 3x plus 1 times itself is 3x plus 1. So 2x minus 3x equals, notice the 1's cancel, or I can bring them over and make that a 1 minus 1 to give me 0. So negative x equals 0. Divide by negative 1, x equals 0. So let's check x equals 0. I'm going to put x equals 0 in the equation. 2 times 0 plus 1 equals, plus, I got to be careful, there's the equation, 3. So that's the equation written down. 0 is subbed in for x, 0 is subbed in here for x. And that gives me 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1, equals 0. So 1 plus 1 equals 0, 2 equals 0. Nope. So that means 0 is not a solution. So there's no solution to this problem. It can't work. No solution is the answer. No values of x will give you 0. And it makes sense. Just watch. If you're adding these two roots up to get 0, remember the square root of this root right here, no matter what's underneath this root here, this is always positive. The square root of this one is always positive. How can you add two positive numbers together and get 0? You can't. So right from the start, this is not true. Number 2, we have the two roots on the same side, so let's separate them. Done. Now I'm going to square both sides. And the root of 3x minus 3 squared is 3x minus 3. And this is easy to do. I'm going to do it the fast way. Root x times root x is x. 1 times 1 is 1. Multiply root x by 1 is 1 root x, double it. So it's 2 root x. And we have 3x minus 3 minus 1 equals 2 root x. What I did, I brought the x's over and the numbers over on this side. Let the root isolate by itself. That gives me 2x minus 4x equals 2 root x. And notice that 2 is a GCF, so I'm going to divide all terms by 2. Notice I again have made it simpler. And now I'm going to square both sides to eliminate the root. So root of minus 2 squared is x times x is x squared. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a plus 4. Product is negative 2x doubled is a negative. I'm going to put a plus there. Negative 4x. And the root of x all squared is x. It's x squared minus 4x minus x plus 4 equals 0. And negative 4 and negative 1 is a negative 5x. It's a quadratic, so it's factorable. Let's see, x squared is x and x. Factors of 4 to give you a 5 must be 4 and 1. Product is positive, 4. Sum is negative 5, so it's got to be 2 negatives. So x minus 4 equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0. X is 4 or x is 1. So let's check. X equals 4. I'm going to put 4 into the place of x, sub in. So 4 is subbed in for x, and that's 12 minus 3 times 4, 12 minus 3 is 9. Minus root 4 equals 1. 3 minus 2 equals 1. 1 equals 1. And 4 is a root. Let's check x equals 1. We're going to put 1 in the equation in place of x. So 3, 1, minus 3. Put 1 in the place of x, done. And so that's 3 times 1 is 3, minus 3 is 0. I simplified the inside first. 0 minus 1 equals 1. Negative 1 equals 1. Nope. So 1 is not a root. So the only solution to this equation is x equals 4. Remember, this is an extraneous root. Because when you square a radical in an equation, you're really what you're doing. You're gaining a root. You're gaining a root. Okay, we have one more to do. And again, practice. Just pause the video and see if you can work out this correctly. We got the two roots on the same side, so let's isolate them. 2 root x plus 1 equals the root of 2x plus 3 plus 1. The negative moves over to become a positive. Now I'm going to square both sides. And 2 times 2 is 4. The root of x plus 1 squared is x plus 1. Notice I had to put that in a bracket. And I'm going to square this the fast way. The root of 2x plus 3 times itself is 2x plus 3. 1 times 1 is plus 1. The product of these two is 1 times the root of 2x plus 3 is 2x plus 3, and we got to double it according to the pattern that I've explained earlier in squaring polynomials. And we simplify each side, so 4x plus 4 is equal to, I'm going to simplify this as 2x plus 4. By simplifying, I have less to transpose. And 4x minus 2x plus 4. Oh, I can cancel. Oh, okay, I didn't do it. I could cancel the 4's out like that, and they would be okay. But I elected to bring the 4 over, and now I can cancel them out. Same thing. And they're simplified, and I divide by 2 because it's on factor on each side. So x equals the square root of 2x plus 3. And I got a root, so I'm going to square both sides to eliminate the root. Notice when you have, when you have a double root, you have to square twice. You square one root, and that's gone. Then when you square the other one, that's gone. So you have, with one root in the equation, you can square once. With two roots in the equation, you have to square it twice by isolating them. So root x squared is x squared equals 2x plus 3. So x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. They move to the left to become negative, and this is factorable. X squared is x and x. Factors of 3 are only 3 and 1. Remember, that's the product is negative 3, the sum is negative 2. So I got a negative product, so I have a negative 3 plus 1. And x minus 3 is equal to 0. X plus 1 is equal to 0. X is equal to 3, or x is equal to negative 1. So let's check when x equals 3. So it's a square root. Putting 3 in the place of x. So notice I put 3 here and 3 here, and that gives me a 4. And 6 plus 3 is 9. And the square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. 4 minus 3 equals 1. 1 equals 1. So 3 is a root. And how about when x is negative 1? Let's check that. So I'll write down the equation again. X is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1. Subtract 2 bracket negative 1 plus 3. And simplify the inside of the root, you get a 0. And you simplify the inside of this root, negative 2 plus 3 is 1. The square root of 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. Minus 1 equals 1. Negative 1 equals 1. No. So x minus 1 is an extraneous root. That's one of the roots we gain by squaring. So the solution to here is x equals 3. So when you have two roots, you isolate one on each side, and you have to square twice to eliminate both of them. You eliminate one by isolating one alone. When you square it, the root is gone. Then when you isolate the other one, the root will disappear also. So you got two roots, two squarings. If you like my video, click the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.